1954, the Geneva Accord was signed to divide our country into two.
Here at Geneva, a turning point in history may be recorded.
In the north, Chairman Ho Chi Minh, and in the south, President Ngô Đình Diệm. The peace lasted just a couple of years. Then the war started. The North Vietnamese started with a guerrilla operation. They attacked almost every big city in the south. We had strong involvement from the American government. They opened 6 civilian personnel offices called CPO. Up until April 1st, the North Vietnamese were just about 70 miles away from Saigon. The USA decided to stop supplying anything from rocket, immunization, everything.
We today have concluded an agreement to end the war and bring peace with honor in Vietnam and in Southeast Asia.
Over there, Ho Chi Minh said, we can sacrifice 10,000 people for one battle.
Are discussed in other parts of the world. The results of the North Vietnamese offensive were an unforgettable reality here in South Vietnam.
I was born in Bac Lieu province, Vietnam. My father was kind of the governor in that province. Bac Lieu at that time still a kind of the empty piece of big land. And they had to build the big house. I had a lot of friends, and they are the children of our servants, farmers, and bodyguards, and so on. Yeah, I had a good time with them. My mom took care of the family. She got a lot of people working for her, and they stayed with us in the big house. She had to do a lot of hard work. She sacrificed a lot for us. My dad passed away in 1948. After my dad passed away, the French government took care of us. Then they moved us to Saigon. The beautiful, most modern city in Southeast Asia. I was a teacher of Vietnamese literature, history, and geography. When the war started spreading all over from the highland down from the DMZ, I reported to the military traffic, helping and training the Vietnamese civilian to work with and for the U.S. Army. We always use a very simple term like training and development. You don't know what we train behind the door, and you don't know what we develop after we train.
I was born and raised right in Saigon. I didn't think anything about the war. I never watched the news and know what's going on. I just took my time and enjoyed it. I had the Western lifestyle. I wore like European title clothes, dresses and stuff. Most of the girls wore traditional Vietnamese dress, and I didn't. The life was just really happy. We had a lot of fun. I found me a job in the Army base there for U.S. military. It was like a translator to translate the documents and submit to my bosses. And I liked it a lot. I worked there for like 2-3 years, to the day we left. Nobody ever thought anything would happen to Saigon until a couple years later, when the U.S. Army started to come to Vietnam, everything changed because we knew that the war was coming.
The streets of Saigon, usually jammed with traffic at the morning rush hour, are quiet. The attack by communist aircraft at Saigon's Tan Son Nhut Airport the day before has prompted a 24-hour curfew, and the only people on the streets are ambulance drivers and policemen.
And my bosses, I guess they knew something was going on. They asked me, do I want to come to the U.S.? I said, no, never. I just determined never leave my country.
On April 22nd, my boss called me in and they say, Cang, you have to run. You have to go home and get Helen and Mary, only them two. So I get home. I told Helen, okay, you need to pack everything and remember 2 kind of shirt or pants. And Helen said, I'm not going if I don't have my family with me. And even the maid, she cries, say, Mr. Cang, I am here alone. I don't have anybody. Please take me. Like even the servant. I get back and I told them, I said, you pack up and I will do whatever I can. I don't promise anything. That night, the police were all over. They searched every house because that's the time the VC get in. I called the multiple office to tell them that I need a van to come and pick me up at my house at 8 o'clock tomorrow after the curfew time. So I told my in-law that tomorrow, if everybody's ready, be in my house, just a briefcase.
Cang said, just pack up and go. And each of us cannot take but 3 sets of clothes. I was so worried that what if we cannot go? And what would happen to us?
The next day, finally we dump everything and the 17 of us get in. When we get almost close to the airport's gates, people coming from all over, they jump to us and they slam on our van. Let me in, help me please. You see women, ladies, kids, and soldiers. I really didn't know what to do. One American guy who speaks Vietnamese fluently, he said, hey Cang, Mr. BB sent me out here to take care of you. He get on his jeep and we follow him. For about 10 minutes, he would stop and he said, Cang, get off the van. And he told me to tell everybody, stay, be quiet, no talking, don't argue, don't look at anybody. They cut the fence. So he opened it and let me go through. And I stand at the door behind. The door's locked. Nobody. I said, oh no, maybe Joe didn't want to see me because I have too many people here. And then suddenly I saw Joe Muffler walking to me. I said, Mr. Muffler, do you know? I said, I know everything. Don't say anything. He opened the gate and he walked in my office. So I pulled the drawer out, the affidavit right there. And then he said, Cang, good luck. The big C-141 is right there. So Alex said, okay, everybody, get on, ready. I just pushed my brother, go, 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 go. After we get up there and the captain said, we're over your Saigon city, you can say goodbye to it now. And you are lucky because this is the last flight. So we are flying straight to Guam. And people started crying, you know.
And that's it. We just knew then we cannot come back here again. My younger sister and my parents just got so emotional.
It took 11 hours to fly from Saigon to Guam. When we arrived at Guam, we were welcomed by a group of Catholic sisters. They gave us milk, hot soup. They gave us the mattress to put on the floor and some blanket. After a week, they moved us to Arkansas for Jaffe, Refugee Registration Center. They keep everybody there.
We arrived to the camp that night. Once we heard the word that our country was lost, everybody in the camp just cried real loud because we knew that we lost our country. And I just sit there just like I was frozen. I didn't cry or anything. I just watched people express their feeling.
And that's the time they screen things from everybody, and also to wait for the sponsors. That was the first time I came to the United States. The maximum amount of money I had is about $500. After about 1 week, we started having a lot of problems on the camp. People fight each other, trash everywhere, and they try to find American sponsors. We were in Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, for about 1 month and 3 weeks. And then I got the letter and the call from Dr. Ceballos. He volunteered to sponsor me. Our plane arrived at Montgomery Airport. And from there, we took a smaller plane to go to Anniston. We are the second group of Vietnamese refugees who's ever been in America. Patricia Green stopped by. She wrote a very nice long article about 13 refugees in a small room. In a week, a very nice and rich guy read a newspaper and he came to see us. They say, I have a big house for you, just move in. So we moved the whole family, 13 people over. We bought paint, everything, and we painted the house from the outside. I did every kind of job in there in order to survive. And I worked as a food coordinator, about $8 an hour then. And I did a lot of gardening, digging, potato, everything. And I contacted one of my former students who live in California. So they called me, get over there, we take care of you, everything. And over here we have college, school, everything. So I decided to leave. I took my wife and Mary to go to California. And we start a new life there. I left there when I was 35 years old, and now I'm 80. Sometimes you don't want to remember the past with a lot of sad things, a lot of death, separation, loss, everything.
From start to finish, Operation Ho Chi Minh had lasted just 51 days.
I came back. I just tried to find something. I don't want to be a tourist on my country. I want to come back to see my country, not to visit. But when I was there, I couldn't visit anything because everything bring me back a good time that I lost. So suddenly you walk in here, this is not mine. This was mine, but it's not mine. Somebody took it away from me. I just want to see what I left or I lost or where I was.
When you think of the chaos, the fear, I recognize in that situation, you can't take everybody. It was nothing short of a miracle that they were able to get out right preceding the April 25th fall of Saigon. Cang is a remarkable man that I think did a remarkable, historic, morally correct job for his family.
I'm indebted to my father for many things, but seeing the impact that he's had on people, that kind of left an imprint on me. My father was able to get 17 people out. the level of perseverance that he had to overcome just to do that is just incredible. And sometimes I do, now that I'm older, reflect back and I'm like, wow, what would my life be like if I was still in Vietnam? There's a bubble of history there. And I mean, I don't know what my life could have been like in that time. It just makes you feel like your course of life, you can't take it for granted. When you talk about someone not giving up, he's a perfect example of that. It's just incredible to see that unfold, but at the same time, not forget where we came from.
I still have nightmare thinking back the time when we left. I just couldn't forget, and it just stayed on my mind. I love Vietnam, but now I love America also. Our children growing up and do well. I just feel real thankful for being here. I just feel like our families has been blessed.
I feel good because I feel that I am still needed from my family members. I'm still not useless. And I think that's all I need. I left my country, but I'm satisfied. My job's done. Remember, regardless of what you are, grandparents, parents, auntie, children, do whatever for your friend, for anybody when you can, from the bottom of your heart. And don't expect they help you back. That's all about life.